To you with another commentary. So something dawned on me. Recently, this kind of dawned on me because, one thing about Islam is that sports is encouraged in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad, Nelado alayhi salatu salam, he used to have races with Aisha. We have it in the hadith, and I believe those are verified as Sahih hadiths. Many of the companions were basically athletes, wrestling, horseback riding, swimming, archery, spear throwing, um, throwing rocks, weight throwing, things of that nature. So Islam has been sport has been ingrained into Islam. Okay. Now, the thing is that one thing is that due to Allah blessing athletes, athletes usually of color, due to Allah blessing us with some gifts like fast twitch muscles and uh the like thereof. We are blessed and we're highly favored in that regards. You know, but at the same time, talent needs to be cultivated. So you can have the physical attributes, right? But it does require like a never say die worth ethic. That's the thing. You have to be working very, very hard. You have to be very, very focused. You have to be very dedicated. Now, for whatever reason, um, well, because we know the reason. If you are highly dedicated to your craft, most of the time, you men will fall victim to excuse me, sorry about that. Men will fall victim to I want to say not learning how modern Western women work. But on the other hand, women women who compete in sports, they're actually celebrated, and it's very hard for them to stay humble. Now, I want to start, of course, with a hadith, right? Um, Let me see. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. Let's get into something. Um, it says, why is it that women's jealousy will be removed? Hold on, let me see. That's not okay. Egocentricity, pride, or jealousy of women. Let's look at this. A number. Okay, we can read the Arabic. Um, you know. So I'm just trying to find something relating to the topic. Let me see. Oh, okay. Here we go. So we can read the whole hadith. I'll read the whole hadith. on excuse my Arabic, I know I need to be more consistent on it, but duty calls with other things. But let's read this hadith. It says, Anhu an Muhammadan ibn Ali an Muhammadan ibn Fadli an Sa'id ibn Jalab an Abi Abdullah alayhi salam qala inna Allah azza wa jal lam yajal gairati li nisa'a wa innama takaru munkiratu min huna fa'ama mu'minatu fala innama ja'alna Allahu gairatu li rajuli la anhu ajala li rajul arba'ain wa ma malakat yaminuhu walam yaj'al li marati illa zawjaha faida aratat ma'ahu ghayrahu kanat inda Allahi zaniyata kala wahu Qasimu ibn Yahya an Jadihi Hasni ibn Rashid an Abi Bakr Hadarat Yah an Abi Abdullah alayhi salam illa innahu kala fa inna bakat ma'ahu gairahu. So it is said, it is narrated from the narrator of the previous hadith from Muhammad ibn Ali, from Muhammad ibn al-Fadl, from Sa'd al-Jalab, who said the following: Abu Abdullah alayhi salam has said, Allah most majestic, most gracious, has not placed pride in women. Such feeling comes from detested ones among them. However, the believing ones of them are free of pride. Allah has placed pride in men. He has made lawful for men up to 4 and those whom they own. For women, he has only their husband. So if she wants more besides him, she is a fornicator before Allah. Okay, so let's look at the what was said about the pride thing. Okay. Let's go to one more hadith, but notice that the pride is something that was spoken of. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of modern women have pride. A lot of modern women have arrogance. A lot of modern women have destructive qualities that men don't want to stay around. So let's read one more hadith, and then I'm going to get into the video. And I'm actually going to full surface it back to sports. Okay. So here's another hadith. It's Idatu min sahabina an Ahmada ibn Abi Abdullah an Muhammadan ibn Hassani an Yusufa ibn Hamad Ahmad Dakarahu an Jabir Kala Abu Jafar alayhi salam Gairatu Nisa'i Hasadu wa Hasadu huwa aslu kufri inna nisa'a ida girana gadibitna faida gadidna kafarna illa muslimatu minhuna. So it says a number of her people have narrated from Abu Ahmad ibn Abu Abdullah, from Muhammad ibn Hassan, from Yusuf ibn Hamad, from those whom he has mentioned, from Jabir, who has said the following: Abu Ja'far alayhi salam has said, pride of women is jealousy, and jealousy is the root of disbelief. When a woman becomes jealous, they become angry. And when they become angry, they disbelieve except the Muslims among them. Fast forward, who do we have? Keisha, aka Shakari Richardson. And let's look at how jealous she is, and let's also look at her behaviors. Um, let's look at her behaviors. Um, and let's look at the difference between let's look at the difference between winners and losers. Let's start with the Nigerian sister, Toby Amusan, who just smashed the world record in the 100-meter hurdles. You wouldn't think she smashed it, but let's take a look and see how she sounds. Okay, let's see. Let's look at it.
Looking for cheap flights to Africa? Save up to $300 off with ASAPtickets.com.
Nigeria left her best for the last day of the World Assisted time of 12.06 seconds. She becomes the first Nigerian to be Jasmine Camacho Queen.
The African champion.
To have come out here with the win and the to God for keeping me healthy.
Became the world.
I'm elated. It's been a journey and I'm thankful to God for keeping me healthy, and I couldn't be more thankful to have come out here with the win and the world record. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's good on the board.
Another podium finish in the long jump as Elsa Brume's 7.02 meter championships. An improvement for Brume. Medal table with Ethiopia finished second.
So there's a little bit of interview, but let's see if we can see any more.
So many national records. One of them, the previous non-fastest, and Amazon has delivered an evening of unprecedented. 6. Fantastic running world record up for the silver. Aaliyah Armstrong, think about the season.
So you see how, she's celebrating. You see how they're giving it up to each other in terms of like respecting each other, and the majority of them, of course, as you see, are Caribbean and continental African athletes. But let's go ahead and look at this.
I'm elated. It's been a journey and I'm thankful to God for keeping me healthy, and I couldn't be more thankful to have come out here with the win and the world record. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So you see, she's very happy. She's very very good, in a good spirit, right?
It's just another competition. Just breathe and,
How do you feel to be the first?
So you get the point, though. You get the point. This woman just ran the fast two. Okay, here's what she did. She ran the fastest time, right? She first ran the fastest time, okay? The first time she ran her fastest time, which was 12:14. She comes back a couple of hours later and then runs the world record. Okay? You see her temperament, calm, cool, collected, not really like having any sense of arrogance, having a sense of humility, being thankful for what she was given. Now let's look at another example. Let's see. Okay, here she goes. Now, Atheng Mu, she's 800-meter runner, very fast. She can actually make run a 400-meter too. She's pretty strong. She's strong. But let's listen to her.
One simple but brilliant trick to cool your home in 90 seconds. Tired of hot and
she's a gold medalist too.
Thanks, Matt.
How are you feeling at the end of that race?
At the end of the race? I mean, golly, I was just happy it was over. I was just happy it was over. Today was a kind of a rough day for me. So, I mean, I'm just glad I could make it through the line, finish the race, and man, thank God I won gold.
What made the day so hard?
I mean, I just physically wasn't where I would like to be.
So I mean, you see the thing, you know, you see that even after running so fast, she kind of like she still feels like she's not where she wants to be. You know, like this is kind of crazy. Like you would expect her to be like, yeah, you know, I did my thing, but yet she still thinks there's room for improvement, right? But let's go ahead and um, continue on a little bit more.
But I mean, I just didn't feel my best, and so I know it's going to be a little tough. But I mean, I was super faithful out there. I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything out on the track, and whatever was going to happen today was going to happen. And so I just wanted to make sure I got out there, did my best, you know, run how I usually run, and thankfully I got the gold, and thankfully I still had, you know, something in me so I can just run through the line and finish strong. But my main goal is just to go out there and leave it all on the track and just do my best.
What's it mean to be the first American to win this gold?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that until 2 days ago, but I mean, it's awesome. It's an honor.
So she's the first American woman, American nationality woman, because her origins are South Sudanese. But I guess she's the first one to win the 800 meters. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. It's pretty good, you know.
I'm just glad I can keep on holding the momentum that I had since Tokyo last year.
And she's a gold medalist in Tokyo, by the way.
You want to come here and compete with amazing athletes, and
her giving it up to other athletes.
You know, push not only myself, but just the field as well, and just bring it home and stuff.
Making other athletes better. She believes that it's good to make other athletes better. You know, what more can you want than that?
Especially because it's on as well.
How would you describe the way the race ran? It seemed like you were starting to get a little bit of a gap, and then Keely really closed it off. Could you feel her? What were you thinking and seeing and feeling out there?
Yeah, I mean, going out, I didn't really have to take the pace because Waltaji took it out just like she did in semis, and so I just wanted to make sure I was on her shoulder. Then as we got to the 400, I just wanted to make sure I gradually picked up the pace just because I know I don't want to leave it, you know, in a race for everyone. You know, that can kind of get a little crazy, so I just wanted to make sure I picked it up a little bit after 300 and...
So she's giving her race strategy, you know what I mean, telling her how to run the race and stuff like that, you know.
And I believe, you know.
Let's see more. Let's see.
I always tend to go over to the outside of the lane first until I know that there's no one else. But when I'm, you know, basically going in full throttle or, like, you know, going 100% with my sprint, I don't really pay attention to where I'm at on the lane. I kind of just like, you know, like to run all the way to the finish line.
Was there sense to coming? That was intentional?
A lot of adjusting, and though everyone, of course, may not see it, it was a lot because, you know, it's.
So she's still like talking about like just overall her performance and stuff like that. So I want to bring one more to your attention, and I want to say something though. Now, historically speaking, you know, women of the Caucasian background, they tend to run the longer distances, like the 1500, the 300, the 3000, the 5000, sometimes the 800. The only ones who do run the faster races, like most of the time, are in Europe. They run like the 400. They run like sprint hurdles. And that's because obviously, you know, within that radius, there's you know, they're the dominant people over there. So obviously, you know, they're gonna get into those events, you know, just due to the fact that they're the dominant people. However, there seems to be a change in tide in track and field, where you're having more American women of Caucasian origin actually take the sprints and do that. One such woman goes by the name of Abby Steiner, and she's been making a name for herself, and she just signed a big Puma contract And guess who's mad? But let's see how humble she is. Now, here's a woman who can run the here's a woman who can run the 100 through 400. Okay. She ran the 4x4. At first, she was unsure about it. Now let's look at her and what she has to say.
I need to be mine. I'm right here. I'm ready.
Kentucky has literally laid the foundation for my track career and set me up like for a successful meet and a successful career. So I had a time of my life there. I met everyone who I needed to meet to get me to this moment. So it's been so special. And seeing, my other Wildcats succeeding on the stage, I hope it can inspire other young athletes to give Kentucky a chance to come to the SEC best conference.
So she actually ran in Kentucky. She actually ran there in Kentucky. And she was a standout there. And she's actually, as you can see, pretty chill.
In the world. So yeah, it's been really special.
Are you done finally, or are you gonna keep going?
I don't know. I will be done after this meet. I'm not sure about.
Okay, so you see the essence of it. Let's look at her. So, I think she medaled in the whatchamacallit. She medaled in the relays. Now I don't know. She didn't really medal in the individual races, But let's look at her Puma thing. Let's see what she says about Puma.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Heights, what have you. So, yeah, I think there can be that fixation, but I think after I set the 300 collegiate record indoors 300 meter one, I was kind of like, okay, I feel like myself again on the track. And after that, I think that just kind of global championship. So just being able to compete with the best of the best is going to be a really big moment for me, and I'm excited to see what I can do and hopefully, walk away with a personal best knowing I gave it my all.
Yeah, and Michael Johnson made an interesting
And because I'm in the sport, so I know. But I wish that everyone else could see how much work they put in to get to that moment and be so consistent at their level. It's truly incredible.
Yeah. Is there a way that the sport, you think, could be better at getting that message across?
Getting after it right from the gun, out of the blocks, and yeah. So I started playing soccer when I was 4, and then really started playing it competitively.
Brain HQ is a brain training program with online exercises that target core cognitive skills.
So you see, she's calm, cool, and collected, right? But let's look at Keisha and how she acts. And she wonders why everybody is surpassing her. Let's look. Everybody remembers this, right? In 2021. Let's look. Let's revisit it.
Just how did it feel to be actually back racing?
Actually, just to be back doing what it is that I have a passion for, that's in my heart, that navigates me through day to day, was a blessing. Just to be back on the track, not coming in with expectations, but of course wanting to do what it is that I'm well known to do.
Okay, you should always have expectations of coming in first place, though. Like, I'm just saying. Like, even in boxing, like, when I'm sparring and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I need to work on this. This is what I need to work on. If I work on this, this should present this this should present this result that I'm looking for. But let's continue on.
And that's be a performer, but God has a plan for everything. And I'm a warrior, and I like to
Please don't bring God into this because he surely does not favor you at all. I'm going to be honest.
say, after the race, I was in the heat of passion, and I apologize for my language, but I'm a warrior. My passion will always come out for my.
But usually warriors, they leave their passion on they leave their passion on the battlefield, and then after they are victorious, they may yell out a scream or do something of that nature. They usually don't have to say they're warriors. They usually show they're warriors. Well, let's continue.
Love for what it is that I put my blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice into. This last month was a journey for me, but that's no excuse because at the end of the day, I'm an athlete, and today was a day, but it's not every day. It's not the end of the world. And like I say, if you choose to count me out, joke's on you.
Let's see how this ages. Let's see how this ages. Okay.
Like to feel the love around everyone.
Even after
the journey, obviously a crazy one. What has this taught you?
Oh, what this has taught me is moving forward. No matter what it is.
I know you probably don't want to dwell too much on it, but what do you feel did go wrong in the race?
Honestly, nothing. I am my biggest enemy. In all honesty.
So she won't even take account to her crappy running technique, which I can break down. That may be for another video. But the thing is this. When I was running track and field, I was fortunate enough to have a coach that focused on not how fast you run, but how you run. And if you ran the right way, it won't feel like you're running fast, but you really are running fast. I remember one time, and this was crazy, I was like, oh shit. There was this one guy, he was like, everybody was on him. Everybody thought he was like the top guy in our conference, right? Everybody was like, oh, this guy is for real, right? So I decided, okay, let me be quiet. Let me focus on my work. When we lined up in those 110 hurdles, I dusted that guy, but it did not feel like anything. It did not feel like I was running fast. When I even look at the replay of the video, it looks like I was walking over the hurdles. I'm like, yo, how am I going this? Like, how did it didn't look fast at all, okay? It did not look fast at all. It looked very, very slow, but it was really fast. And the reason my coach pulled me to the side and he's like, it wasn't how fast you ran, it was how you ran that dictated your results. So she won't even take account to that in her technique that has failed her. And her technique that has made other people surpass her. But let's continue.
I wasn't focused on my lane. I wasn't focused on what it is in me. But at the end of the day, no excuses. Not at all. It's time to get back in the lab and do what it is that I need to do. Congratulations to the women that won. I love women, no matter what the flag is, no matter what brand you wear.
Okay, so we're gonna get back to what she's saying. We're gonna come back to what she is saying right now.
I love successful women, and I hope that they continue to be just as successful as they're doing and continue to thrive in their career. But I'm definitely going to thrive, and I'm definitely going to continue to show the world why I'm that girl.
Okay, you see the arrogance why I'm that girl. And on Facebook, in the gender war sphere, which I'm involved in, as I said before, man, you guys might as well make me like, with all the stripes I have on my shoulder from this gender war, you might as well I can't even, the problem is I can't even hang up my fatigues. In fact, unfortunately, I'm just starting. That's the problem. I don't want to just get started, but I have no choice but to just get started, you know, with the gender war. But anyhow, uh, the arrogance and the self-absorption and this behavior, actually, you have Keisha's on social, especially on Facebook, capping for her degenerate behaviors and her arrogant and we'll soon see jealous behaviors. But let's continue.
You've used the saying no excuses. You've used that over the last month. Where do you get that from? Your ability to say, you know, maybe I've had this setback, but I can move forward.
Potential and what I can do and bring to this game. So they never let me sit. And with that, it's in my head. It's been dwelled into me. Training from high school all the way up until now. The greatness in me is not on anybody's pace. It's not on social media's pace. It's not on my pace. It's not on the haters' pace. It's on God's pace. Okay?
But what if God doesn't want you to be great because he knows what will happen if you do get great? What you know, the thing is, when God sent people like on missions, usually those people had certain characteristics where, you know, he knew they were fit for the mission. He knew that it wouldn't get to their head. He knew that they would still carry on the mission despite the success that they have experienced. What if God is telling you that I'm not going to let you get to that point because I know what will happen if you do get to that point? But let's continue.
And he gonna make sure I do what it is I need to do when it's time to do it. And right now it wasn't time to do it, and that's okay. But when it is time to do it, y'all gonna know. And what will you say then? Nothing.
What's the last month or two just kind of taught you about your confidence, your self-belief, and like how important that is to have that reaffirmed to yourself every day in spite of setbacks?
Oh, just having that confidence. You have to believe in yourself before you expect anybody else to believe.
Okay, now I'm done with that one. But now, let's look at another one that happened recently. Let's look at one that happened recently in the sphere of track and field. Let's look real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, now here's this one. Let's play a short clip.
This is Blankos, the free-to-play multiplayer game where you can unlock, earn, and sell NFTs.
Expectations, you came out here today to face these ladies from the Olympic Games.
It was a great return back to the sport. I wanted to be able to come in before. Having a month off, dealing with all I was dealing with. I'm not upset at myself at all.
Keep in mind, she was talking crap about her competition before the race. She didn't respect them at all. She was talking very much like trash. She was speaking trash, you know. But let's continue.
This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the shit you want. Because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the sixth fastest woman in this game.
You're the sixth fastest woman in this game, but yet you haven't been to Olympics. You didn't go to the World Championships or anything of that nature. I wouldn't brag about being the sixth fastest woman if I have no medals or anything under my belt to show for it. But let's continue.
Ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the people that won.
So you see, the woman in the background goes by the name of Shelly Ann Fraser Price. I think she came in second place, and this is after she was talking trash about this is after Sha'Carri was actually talking trash about her, and it just goes to show you basically the type of Keisha you're dealing with. I mean, this Keisha didn't even have respect for her opponents before the race started, and she still doesn't have any respect for the her opponents after the race started.
But they're not done seeing me yet. Period.
You know, I hate when girls use that word period because it makes them even, it just like gets on my nerves when they use, as soon as a girl uses that at the end of a sentence, I'm like, nope, you know, stay away from her. As soon as they use that word after a sentence, I'm like, okay, she's a Keisha. You know what I mean? Keisha has grabbed her, right? But let's continue on. Okay, let's see. Okay, now, here, let me see. Hold on.
Thanks for coming. No problem.
Let's talk about the weekend as a whole.
No, I have what I have to say.
Okay, this is after she lost because she didn't qualify for any races in the which one call it? She didn't qualify for any races in the World Championships at all. She couldn't even run the replays because she was so trashy. She ran like crap. Well, let's listen to her.
Okay, I'll take this interview and do whatever you want to do with it. I'm coming to speak not on just my behalf, but all athletes' behalf. That when you guys do interviews, y'all should respect athletes more. Y'all should understand them coming from whether they're winning, whether they're losing, whatever the case may be. Athletes deserve way more respect than when y'all.
I mean, the thing is, I think like the media for the most part, like I would think like from what I see and from the last races you saw with like the Nigerian record holder, a thing Mu, Abby Steiner, I would think that like they were actually pretty respectful, you know. I would actually I would actually think that they're they're not that they're not that they're not that that bombarding, you know what I mean? But let's continue.
Come and throw cameras into their faces.
Welcome back to Black Babble.
So you see how she is. Let's see.
Professional athlete.
All right, let's see. All right. Okay. So let's see what happens when she gets, okay, let's see. Let's see.
12 months ago, I was working in the fast food industry. Today, I have a six-figure job in coding. I was able.
Shakari,
How do you feel about today? You did great out there.
I feel phenomenal. This only being like my third 100 of the season.
Yep.
I feel fantastic. And my best, one of the people I idolize the most at first, Leah Hobbs. I love her. If anybody wants to beat me, I would definitely want it to be Leah. What do you want?
So even in a second place finish, like me, I would like actually I would actually be like, dang, I didn't get first, and I would still congratulate the winner, but I wouldn't say if I wanted someone to beat me, I would want it to be that person, because then you make yourself sound like defeated, actually, when you say stuff like that.
The nail game today. How great the manicure is. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's fire with it.
Definitely.
Shakari, what inspired the outfit for today?
Me always standing out. No matter my performance, no matter what media other people have today.
But does she really stand out from your typical Keisha though? Like let's just ask herself that question. Does she like really stand out from your typical Keisha that you may see on 63rd and Brynhurst, that you may see on 10th Ave, that you may see on the Cincinta block? Like you have to ask yourself, does she really stand out from like a Keisha that you may see? Like you have to You have to like ask yourself that question. But let's see what happens when she gets around other Keishas. Let me see. Let me try to find. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I think I may have it. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Let me see real quick. Okay. Let me go down. Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. Here's what happens when she gets around other Keishas.
Shakari, I want to chat with you. You want to know why?
Why, Mom?
Because every time you step on a track, you be looking so fly. And I just want to.
So, instead of telling her the truth, which I would do, and I would probably get banned from media, I would ask her, so with this string with this string of crappy performances that you've strung together, do you think that maybe you need a change in the coaching, or do you think you need a change in maybe your running technique in order to get the desired results that will put you onto the upper level of athletes? Because of the simple fact that you, right, as it stands right now, and I would just tell her about herself that you've been surpassed. You've been surpassed by many athletes. And athletes in your field, in your race, are surpassing you. But let's continue.
You know where the drip be coming from.
Hey, honestly, it is like very, very spontaneous. Little do you know, but I just know that whenever I step on the track, win, lose, draw, I want all eyes on me.
Okay.
So it really just.
Okay, so she's more concerned with being a fashion icon than being a runner, than being a a person in competition. Now, granted, for me, you know, I had a couple of accessories when I ran, but there was a reason for those accessories. Like I wore a gree. You know, of course we believe in Allah, and Allah determines everything. Allah determines everything. Allah determines the outcome of every single thing. No object can determine the outcome of a thing. However, for cultural reasons, I did wear my gree. And the Marabou I went to did like do certain things that he said, okay, this by the and he said it and he said it in this way too. He said, this by the power and the grace of Allah should give you this when you're running, but the rest is going to come down to you. And so what happened is when I left it up, when it did come down to me, the results were good. You know, I had a silver chain. You know, I had a silver Cuban links chain that I would wear while I was running. And it wasn't just, it wasn't to stand out. It was just the simple fact that like, that with that chain, it kind of helped me relax while I was running, because if I ran stiff, then the chain would like fly out and do crazy things like that. But let's continue.
From that, and just honestly, just be who I am, and that's part of who I am. I can't go out there looking like everybody. That's just me.
Okay. Now you said your looks be spontaneous, but what you planning on doing next? Somebody, we want a little sneak peek. We want a little sneak peek, girl.
Yeah, girl, I'm not gonna.
Okay, you would think that like they would talk about how badly she lost, but they're just gassing her up, which goes to show you Keishas don't really care about other Keishas.
Worlds as we know. But
okay, but I mean, you still can't be out here looking cute. Okay.
So she said she's not going to the Worlds, but then the interviewer says that she can't be out here looking cute. You know, and I hate to say it, there's a reason why like people are getting fed up with Keisha, and people are like just looking down on them. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I hate to say it, I'm one of them. That I have to I do like social distancing. I do like selective slow social distancing from them because what I have seen and what I have experienced is that they're getting worse and worse and worse and worse as generations pass.
You know, the season is not done,
Not
mommy. You
over.
know, so
Okay, yes,
definitely
ma'am.
overseas, I would definitely bring some Texas drip to over the water. So we gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna let y'all know always.
And then the last question I got for you is that not only are you really into fashion, but you seem to be at the forefront of making sure that track and field athletes got what they need. So just talk to me.
No, she's not. Nike just paid her that much money based on that qualifying time in the Olympic records, that Olympic qualifying record. That's the only reason why she got notoriety. Other than that, nobody was checking for her ass.
A little bit about why you want to be at the forefront of that and some change that you want to see.
Honestly, I want to be at the front, and I'm willing to be that sacrificial lamb for the simple fact of years and generations have gone by and nobody has said anything. The top people have literally just got their dollars and walked away from the sport.
I mean, that's what you should do. Duh. This is an individual sport. My coach said, he's like, whatever you do, be it track or boxing, make as much money as you can and leave the sport healthy. He didn't say anything about, be outlandish and maybe if I'm outlandish, it'll bring change to track and field. He didn't say any of that, man. Well, let's continue.
Not worried about the little guy, and that's not fair because we all want the same thing when we step onto this track. We all want the next generation to be themselves. Don't step off the track, get out of the game, and then say, "Oh, be yourself," when you never did that. Be the.
But I think being themselves includes humility for the most part, and also it includes winning races. In track and field, you get the more races you win, the more money you get. You get bonuses for running certain times. So, yeah.
Beacon that you say that you want others to be. So definitely that's why I'm always going, no matter win, lose, draw, stand in my confidence, stand in my divine spirit, because
there goes that divine femininity and all that other bullshit. Get the hell out of here, bro. Like this is sad, bro. It's sad. It is so sad. And Keishas are gonna probably come to this channel. Oh, you just jealous. It's not about being jealous. It's about being a realist. You know what I mean? That's just what it's about. But let's look at something that let's look at one final thing that came to my attention. And this goes to show you that what she said in the previous interview, that she's proud of women being you know, being successful, is actually a lie. So you have people that are mad that you have Keishas that are actually mad that you know, Abby Steiner, a Caucasian woman, got a 2 million Puma contract, and Sha'Carri got a 250,000 contract. You know, so the thing is that you have these channel holders like saying that she's slower than Sha'Carri and stuff like that, but she's winning races, bro, and she's winning them on the world stage, on world relay stage. Okay. Let me see. now you have people saying that it's racist, and you have people saying all types of stuff right now, bro. Um, okay, let's see. Now, here's the thing. Perhaps Shikari could have got 2 million for signing with Puma too, but she signed with Nike. She took the first thing that came at her. But let's see. I'm gonna add this one more thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I thought it was worth exploring. And we're going to talk about economic racism.
Oh, here we go again. Godly, bro. The highest paid track and field athlete was a black man. It was Usain Bolt. Well, of course, you expect this from this beta cuck. Because he what you would call it, he actually encourages black men to work dates and marry single mothers. So of course you expect this from this beta cuck. But let's hear some things.
Whether or not this is economic racism. So a lot of people are concerned that Sha'Carri Richardson and even a lot of black athletes for that matter are not getting contracts that match up with Abby Steiner. Abby Steiner.
Number one, Abby Steiner is winning. Number two, she's winning on the world stage. Number three, she doesn't talk too much. She works.
Is a superstar out of the University of Kentucky, and there's a little bit.
And she is collegiate record holder in many events, and she runs more races than Sha'Carri does. She can do the 1, 2, and the 4. Sha'Carri can barely do a 1.
Break down here, so get comfortable, buckle up, seatbelt. So I'm a big fan of track and field. My favorite track athlete. In her situation, if she's my daughter, I say, okay, sweetie, do you understand what's going to happen if you get up there and you start, acting a damn fool? And she did. That interview was just terrible. It was one of the worst. Any black people, are black people my dominant audience when I'm trying to sell Pumas? Do black people buy more? How many of y'all, give me a yes or no? Yes or no. How many of you in this audience own a pair of Pumas?
I own Puma. I F for Puma. Shout outs to Puma. They have all the African jerseys, including my country. So shout outs to them.
Who in the fuck even buys Pumas anymore anyway? I know I don't.
Obviously, you don't know that Nipsey Hussle, one of the biggest economic, strategic economy guys, had a joint venture with Puma and released many products with Puma and is still releasing products with Puma. I buy Pumas, and a lot of other people bought Pumas too. And yes, we also have Puma tracksuits. In fact, I bust out with my blue Puma tracksuit from time to time.
I bought Pumas in the 80s. I don't buy Puma shoes, right? So my point is to say that black athletes are certainly marketable. We know this. Actually, my mentor, my best buddy, Dr. Tommy Whitler.
Okay, never mind. Let me see. Sorry, this has been going on a while.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically. I can show you how, but I can't do it for you. People are saving real.
Wagwan, my people. So in today's video, Olympic champion, man, the sport, because all of those things, I think we are robbing ourselves. As you see it, people. So this is what the story is saying. Years after years, U.S. track and field community has produced world-class talents, with the world recently signed with Puma, the same company sprinting legends for the world championship, because Steiner is ready for the medals. Famous athletes, including Jamaican and Kentucky, Steiner aims to raise the bench coming in. I feel like the Puma have a little bit of good.
Okay, let me see.
to the world champion.
This is gonna be the last video, and then I'll go ahead and end it.
In the 100 meter or the 200 meter, and she wasn't even good enough to be selected for the 400 meter relay team. Drop a comment and let me know if you think Sha'Carri Richardson deserves millions like Abby Steiner.
No, not at all.
I personally feel like Sha'Carri's career is coming to an end, and I feel like the door is closing on her, and the door is closing faster than she can run. The sport of track is about winning, and she's proven that for whatever reason, she just can't get it done on the biggest stages. Yes, she has raised the attention. She's unwilling to promote her own races on social media. When she lost at the Prefontaine Classic in 2021, we got was a rant with profanity to do well in. And when she won the 200 meter, she was all smiles with the media. You know, this was a race where she felt that she was speaking on behalf of how to handle winning, and someone Olympic hopeful, someone who knows how to handle winning, and someone who Puma and future sponsors feel can conduct themselves like a true professional. Nobody at Puma is having sleepless nights wondering if Abby Steiner is going to start cussing on live TV if something goes wrong and she comes in last place. They don't have to worry about that. Nobody at Puma is worried about Abby Steiner getting on social media.
So you see the difference between Keisha and, you know, maybe a more traditional like Becky versus Casper Karen, who's out here running amok, right? So you see the differences between the two, right? You see the difference between Keisha, and then you see the difference between like maybe a more conservative Becky, right?
Getting on Twitter and attacking.
By the way, Steiner, she deletes her social media before races anyway.
The organizers of her next event for using her image and name to promote the race, how Sha'Carri Richardson attacked the organizers of the NYC Grand Prix. Nobody at Puma is worried about Abby Steiner showing up to the track dressed like a stripper.
Which she does.
Showing up to the track dressed like some type of a hooker.
Which she does. Which we know she does.
People at Puma know that Abby Steiner has the common sense, has the decency to wear only the approved, appropriate track uniform.
Correct.
And lastly, nobody at Puma is worried that Abby Steiner might blow her opportunity to make it to the next Olympics by smoking marijuana.
That is correct too. That is correct as well. And so, you know, she by all accounts would make you think she's a God-fearing woman, but like usually a God-fearing woman, especially a God-fearing Muslim woman, is not going to take to relieve her pain through smoking marijuana. She's going to get on her prayer rug and find comfort in doing that. But that's another story for another time.
So we have two different people from two very different worlds. Sha'Carri Richardson's rants are about her knowing that the spotlight is about to move on to Abby Steiner and that there is nothing that she can do to stop it. Sha'Carri Richardson was a dream come true for Nike in the beginning because she was so captivating. She was a young, black, gay woman, and Nike knew that they could promote her in 4 different ways in 4 different markets.
Bingo.
Sha'Carri Richardson had all the opportunity in the world when she was in the spotlight, but she couldn't get it done on the track and she couldn't get it done off of the track.
Bingo.
I don't think she'll ever see the type of money that Abby Steiner just got from Puma, and I would be shocked and surprised if Nike offers her any type of an increase on her next contract. And in fact, Nike might have seen enough. Nike might be ready to part ways with Sha'Carri after her current contract expires. That's something to keep an eye on. These are my thoughts. Drop a comment.
Yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna end it. I know I know I went a long time, but there was so much to unpack when it comes to Keisha, and even just the fact that now Keisha is being surpassed by others who typically don't surpass her because of her degenerate behavior, and because she thinks that victory is just handed to you. But with that being said, y'all leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Fool is signing out. But I also want to mention that Shakira, that Keisha is also jealous of the fact that Becky is surpassing her. But anyhow, that's all I got for now, guys. Y'all leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Fool is signing out on Jarama.